Hi everyone, my name is William Ha and I'm the automotive writer for Elite Gen magazine. So Elite Gen magazine is a Chinese-Canadian bilingual luxury lifestyle magazine. So it's published in both English and Chinese. And as a lifelong car enthusiast and a current automotive industry professional, I'm the lucky guy who gets to drive and review the latest vehicles and write up the stories for the magazine. So it's a lot of fun, it's a great honor. And most recently we got to drive the all-new 2023 Lexus RX500h F Sport Performance 3. So the name of the vehicle is a bit of a mouthful. I've got my Lexus t-shirt here. I've got my F Sport hat here to match the occasion, I guess you could say. But it was a really great vehicle overall. It came in a really cool color called Copper Crest that I think goes really well with the body and the sheet metal. And we'll go into a little bit more detail on some of the cool features that it has. There's already a lot of great videos and publications out there already that I'm sure a lot of people have watched or read already, so I don't have to do a full review. I've pinned the story that I wrote in the comments section, so if you want to read more about it, you can find more details of what I wrote there for the full review. But it was a great vehicle overall. The H, as you can guess, stands for hybrid, so it is a hybrid vehicle. It's got lots of power, it's really good, and we'll get started right now. So let's start with talking about the exterior and the styling.
So here's the front end, and I know some people don't like it, and it does sort of look like the girl's wearing a helmet, but I actually applaud Lexus for taking some risks and doing something different. You got triple beam LED headlights, and the headlights even have washers, which I find really cool. Has a hybrid drivetrain with 2 electric motors and a 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. It produces 367 horsepower, and the side view is personally my favorite because it's clean and you've got that dramatic swoop over the rear wheel arches, and the matte black wheels go really well with the copper crest color, I think, and looks a lot sportier. And if you go to the back here, Lexus took from the NX the LED taillights that span the width of the tailgate, and it's really nice. It would be nice to have some polished tailpipes maybe, but in any case, you can open the rear liftgate using your foot. There's a sensor there, and you've got 838 liters of cargo space. You can fold down the seats as well. Now that's the interior. You got the 14-inch screen. It's got the new Lexus interface system that I found to be pretty intuitive to use. There's a lot of stuff on the menu, as you can imagine, being a vehicle this well equipped. But everything was snappy. The resolution is really good. The map is really good as well, and you can usually find everything you need. You just need to play around with it a little bit, and over time you can get used to it. Lots of safety features, of course, that you can turn on and off on the interface. And there's some really nice details like this pinstriping on the shifter console, along with some chrome, and I like this little touch on the digital cluster there. You can see your brake lights whenever you have the brakes on. Now the rear seats are really where this vehicle shines in my opinion. There's tons of legroom, good thigh support, and I even like the way the cup holders open up for the rear passengers on the armrest. You got USB ports, vents, heated and ventilated seats for the rear for passengers, and even a sunroof that extends to the rear passenger compartment for people to enjoy more sunlight. The only thing is that it's got the power reclining seats, which is great, but it's kind of annoying when you want to fold them down. They take over 10 seconds, and in this case I'd rather have manual latches. Alright, let's talk more neat and useful features. So one of them is that I like that Lexus has washer fluid nozzles mounted at the wiper arms. So you get a cleaner spray and you don't get a misty mess, and this actually saves fluid and provides better cleaning. And I like that the wiper goes almost to the end there on the driver's side. There's tons of storage compartments throughout the vehicle, like in the center console you see here, but also on the door panels. You see there are 3 USB-C ports up front with a wireless charger, and guess what? There's a sunglasses holder, which is great too. It's a bit small, but at least it's there. Most newer vehicles don't have that feature. I love that there's a rear camera washer, which is super useful during winter, but unfortunately there's no switch to operate it. So what you need to do is you go into reverse, and then you have to operate the rear window washer fluid in order to get it clean, as you can see here. I also love the 360-degree camera, which can provide a transparent view so you can detect obstacles you don't see, such as litter that you could run over. And you can even see like moving 3D images of the vehicle, which I find really cool. And I know that the Land Rovers have this feature as well. I really like it. I also love the steering wheel buttons because they're advanced. You can customize them and the functions show up on the head-up display, so you don't need to take your eyes off the road. There's a height adjustable front cup holder that can accommodate both tall and short containers, which I found really convenient, and it looks cool. There's a dual hinged armrest so both the driver and front passenger can access the storage space. And one feature worth mentioning is that there's also a heated Lexus front grille emblem too. So yes, it helps you announce to the world that you're in a Lexus during winter, but there's a radar behind the emblem that operates the pre-collision warning and adaptive cruise control. And during winter, these features get disabled when snow or ice builds up in front of the radar. So this heated function helps you retain your safety and driver aids during winter driving. So these are the 21-inch matte black wheels. I think look really cool, and there are even two-piece rotors with 6-piston front calipers, which is really sporty. It's got rear wheel steering as well to improve cornering and turning radius. And what I like too is that for the rear seat reminder feature on this Lexus, it doesn't just chime inside as you're leaving, but the car will actually beep as you're walking away if it thinks you left something in the back seat.
So those are some of the really cool features that I wanted to highlight. Now, I wanted to also talk about performance in a little bit more detail because that is important to a lot of people. And I was really surprised. It was an excellent drivetrain. It had a lot of torque down low and even in the mid-range, and the power was always there. And the turbos, I think, really helped. It's got a 6-speed transmission. It's not a lot of gears compared to other premium vehicles, but the transmission was pretty good. Like, it downshifted fairly quickly when you needed power. Now, even though it has rear wheel steering, the handling is generally good, but when you go really hard or when you go a little bit faster than you should around corners and turns, the SUV still leans a lot. And when I say a lot, if you compare to, say, a Porsche Cayenne, which drives like a sports car, or even the Mazda CX-5, when you do push it, it still leans a little bit more than you'd like. So when it leans like that, you don't have as much confidence going faster or pushing harder. So that's really the only thing about the handling that people should know about. Now, that said, most people who are shopping or buying an RX model, I mean, sporty handling isn't really a priority, so I don't think it's a big issue in the grand scheme of things, but that's something to keep in mind for people who might wonder about the handling. Now, the RX500h being a hybrid, you can guess it's pretty heavy. The fuel efficiency was still generally pretty good. So I had the vehicle for a week. I did about 70% highway driving, a bit more than usual, and I averaged 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers. So I didn't rely on a computer. I filled up the tank, I reset the trip meter, and then when I refueled again, I went to the same gas pump and I did the calculations on my own. So fuel efficiency is also good for the environment, right? You end up producing less emissions. Now, on a safety front, the RX500h is really well equipped as well. It's got all the usuals, your blind spot monitoring and your adaptive cruise control, but it's also got some newer features like front cross traffic alert. It gives you an alert that isn't too intrusive. It's really helpful, and it's got a lot better detection systems for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists as well. So that's appreciated. I think for a vehicle like this, it might be families who are driving children, or maybe even grandparents who are driving their grandchildren. So safety is really important, I think, in this particular segment and for this vehicle. And then, of course, we can't forget about the price. So it's $89,000 to start. So it's going to be over $100,000 out the door. And some people might balk at that price, but the RX500h is the highest model within the RX family. And there are a lot of people who like Lexus, right? They like the quality, they like the reliability, they like the dealer service. So there is some value there. And I think that people who are loyal to the brand should buy this vehicle. I think it's worth it. And people who like performance or they're very brand conscious, they'll probably end up just going European anyways. But I think it's a good vehicle overall. I personally highly recommend it. It's really comfortable, and hopefully this video helped in terms of you learning more about the vehicle and maybe helping with your buying decision. So if you like this video and you found it helpful, please feel free to give it a like. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll try to help if I can. So thanks for watching.